This is Meltdown Live, presented by MyBookie.ag. Use code NEXTROUND at MyBookie.ag for double your initial deposit. You sign on to make a deposit, they double it with code NEXTROUND at MyBookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. MyBookie.ag.
It is Meltdown Live time. That means it's 2 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock Eastern. Thank you for joining us on this epic journey that we call The Meltdown. You have now entered the Culver studio with us as we are prepared to get this show going, get this party started. It's getting hot in here. I'm Tim Melton. That's EG. I don't know. I started thinking of like early 2000 songs that were popular.
Yeah.
And when it's like, I heard in my head Fergie doing a "Let's Get It Started," which surprisingly a lot of Black Eyed Peas humor in The Naked Gun, which we saw last Thursday.
Okay.
And reviewed on Friday. Tyler, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm good. I spent the weekend, catching up on sleep. I watched Barbarian, got some good breakfast. It was a good weekend for me.
You finally watched Barbarian.
I got some good breakfast. Yeah. I had some French toast bites with some chicken and hot honey. It was delicious.
See what you're doing. You watched Barbarian.
Yes, I did. I watched it last night.
This is crazy.
Okay.
Let's pause for a moment.
Hold on. There's only one thing that could completely derail the whole conversation, and that is that
if I watch Conan the Barbarian.
No. It's if you think the movie's trash, it's going to alter all of our plans here. Now, I understand. We have not talked about this. I understand if you're like, look, it's not as good as you're saying because I've been hyping it up for a long, long time. But I think it is a great blend of everything I love about horror movies in one movie. Tyler, did you enjoy Barbarian? Did it check those boxes for you?
I spent the better half of that movie with my mouth just agape.
Yeah.
It is
twisty and turny and funny.
Yeah, like say less than halfway into the movie, like it looks like it's going one direction, and then you're just like, oh, what is that? What on earth is that? And now where are we going? Because this is like Bill Skarsgård, for example. No spoilers, but that's not who I thought he was gonna play. Right,
and that keeping that close to the chest has been the toughest part of recommending the movie for you because I've been so scared that people are going to unveil all of its secrets and its tricks. And the movie doesn't work as well if you know everything about it going in. Like, you need to be on for the ride.
Oh, no, I went in completely blind.
That's perfect. And it pays off, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I think the first 20 to 30 minutes of Barbarian is perfect. I mean, literally the back and forth, the situation you find yourself in, the tenseness, the eeriness, the what is going on. You can't find your footing, and you're like, you really empathize with the characters, and you empathize with them even more once you get to the whole final picture. And then Justin Long comes in, and he is incredible in this movie. I think Justin Long is freaking fantastic in this movie.
He is.
All I need is him with a tape measure, and I laugh every single time. It's so funny.
I like how he's just not even really taking into account the other stuff in the room that he's measuring. Yeah. He's just like, yep, nothing strange about this. Thinking, maybe that lawsuit is going to be very successful, Justin Long.
I'm going to go ahead and say it again. Okay, I've been talking about weapons for months, and you're about to get the payoff. I've been talking about how this is going to be the sleeper hit of the summer. Been talking about this for months, and you're about to have it happen this weekend. It is going to be that movie that everybody's talking about. It is going to be that movie that is the sort of surprise last hurrah of the summer box office that is going to get people to the theater. It's going to get them engaged, and it's going to build up Kreger's reputation in the industry.
I think the subject matter for weapons, at least knowing the very little bit I know, because much like Barbarian, I've been dodging just any details for this movie, but just based on the trailer, I think the subject matter for weapons will have like a wider appeal and
100%.
Allow for that, like just people who had not seen Barbarian and would not see Barbarian because that movie just it goes some places. I think those people, the more casual horror fans, will get into this and really enjoy it.
1,000% agree with you on that.
Plus you've got Julia Garner and Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
And
way more commercial.
yes.
Like, no doubt.
Yeah, like
And
Skarsgård's more popular now, but he's more known for being a weird little guy in the movies he's in. Which
is why his role in Barbarian's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
He's cast perfectly for that role. So, I love Barbarian. There's only just a few little nitpicks I have about Barbarian. I won't get into it right here, but I do think the police in that movie would never act the way that they act in that movie. I think it's just completely ridiculous.
That's one of my gripes too, and that's a gripe in like pretty much every horror movie because they always make the police just so unhelpful.
I would love to see a Barbarian RoboCop crossover because I feel like that's the only way to actually get justice. But yeah, the cops would never act that way that they do in that movie. It's just absolutely ridiculous. The hoops they have to go through to desert our main character. And it's like, y'all can't come up with something better, like something better than that. Anyway, but Barbarian is the greatest Airbnb movie ever. It is the greatest Me Too movement movie ever. It is the greatest tape measure movie ever. It's great. I love Barbarian. So I'm excited.
Would you call it the greatest milk-based movie ever?
That one, considering The Boys is a television series. I would say that movie-wise, it's way up there. But no, it's a crazy, crazy movie, and I really enjoy it. So Barbarian, talked about it for a long time, love it. I'm really going into weapons with high hopes, and I watched SummerSlam this past weekend. It was a 2-night event, took place at MetLife Stadium. Really enjoyed the 2 nights of SummerSlam. There were some things that really stunk, but overall, I mean, both shows, night 1 and night 2, left on a high. We got a new world champion. We got Cody Rhodes back to being champion, that's my boy. We got Brock Lesnar, who's returned now to WWE, which is a move that not really anybody saw coming this past weekend. And we've got, an epic WWE thing. But throughout the coverage, they were doing a lot of weapons trailers during it. And every time I'd mute and look away. Yeah, I just want to go in as blind as possible to weapons. So I'm very excited about that. But we have a lot of movies to talk about. I do want to get into this first. And that is that Frenemy Summer is pretty much done. And I'm going to explain why.
Tell me why, Tim.
It's because the weather outside, EG, I mean, it's a nice, crisp, cool 70-something degrees. It's going to be in the 60s tonight. And that is my favorite thing in the world is fall weather. I love it. Love the fall weather. Love walking in to poker night with it being a little crisp and cool in the air. Yeah. Whole different vibe. And I worry that you're going to be out of your element now that it's no longer summer. Because while it is still the first week of August, I mean, the weather's telling you different.
We will be back to like a heat index of like 100 in a million next week.
That is probably correct.
So
it's a fake fall.
It is a fake fall. It happens every year. I can appreciate it, but it's gloomy. It's not even sunny. Ugh.
Can you also, like, for just a second, put into context, like, we've made it to August and there's college football games this month.
That gives me chills. I am so happy. It feels like this offseason has been longer than I even, like, processed.
Yeah. Like, I saw somebody post online, like, I'm ready for 18 to 22-year-olds to make me sad on a Saturday again. And it had, like, a screenshot of a college football player. And I'm thinking to myself, I want the same thing.
Like, the thought of, let me paint a picture for you guys. The thought of waking up at, let's just say, 8 o'clock on a Saturday. It's a 7:15 kick, 8:15 Central. And we get to have an entire day of just breathing in fall scented things, perhaps a pumpkin spice latte on the way to the game. Yep. It's a little cool, but I'm layered up properly. And I get to be in the end zone of Bryant-Denny Stadium.
So you are looking forward to fall.
Yeah, but not right now. It's August.
I gave you a college football setup, and you took it to a fall setup, and I just feel like that's like, against character for you.
Yeah, but college football is fall. But I remember last year, the South Carolina game, it was like literally end of October, I want to say. Or maybe not. I just remember it was supposed to be like nice and fall weather, and I almost had a heat stroke on the sideline. So
I wonder if I can like create something for Hobby Lobby that has like a play on the word fall, but in football. So it's like fall.
Ball.
Well, it's like fall is highlighted, but the rest of it is like I wonder if I can create an image to where women will be like, I want this in my house, and men will be like, this looks good.
Least favorite. Let's do a little design.
It's a weird show.
It is. I hate decor with words on them.
Okay.
Oh, you've never been a live, laugh, love fan?
No. Anything that identifies what it is, out of my sightline.
So you don't like a canister of soap that says the word soap on it?
No. Or, I don't know, a coffee cup that says cup of Joe. I hate that.
So do you know who Ray Dunn is?
She is on my hit list.
So she has words on everything she creates.
And some people, listen, if you're watching this and you like Ray Dunn, by all means, continue.
Yeah.
That's what this is for. Everyone has their own taste.
But it'll say like cup.
Yes. Or happy fall, y'all. It's awful. It's awful visually. I don't want a kitchen sign. I know I'm in the kitchen.
I don't want this to sound rude, but you're being a total prude right now.
Prude?
I don't know. I'm agreeing with all her points. I grew up in a house covered in like decorative plates and like burlap door hangers for fall.
That's different.
No. I was
like,
I
no.
had all of these things that she listed off in the house.
Yeah.
Signs that said like live, laugh, love.
This is where we eat. We are a family.
Bless this mess.
Oh,
another one.
Bless this mess.
Guys, y'all are just too young. You're going to realize that this stuff eventually is the stuff you're coming home with from the Home Depot and from Hobby Lobby and from... You guys are going to eventually grow into it.
I've refused to step foot in there for the past like 10 years.
I'm a minimalist, shockingly, when it comes to things that are in my apartment. I don't want clutter. I don't want a lot of anything. I want very intentional things. And if I have to read something on my wall that says where I am, no. Do you have something in your home that has that?
I think I have several things like that.
I'm sorry.
Like, things that I don't want to say. I think I have like, things with words on them. Yeah. That's part of
the charm.
The being part of a family. You get these things. You go along with the bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do.
Like I like welcome signs that say, I don't know, welcome.
The welcome porch signs. I know. I can't stand a welcome sign. Okay. I don't want everyone to feel like a psychopath walks up and they're like, well, it tells me to come in. Welcome. No, I'm not giving you any psycho excuses to enter my home.
And on that note, the little quirky welcome mats too. Guys. It's like don't walk in unless you're bringing money.
Oh God!
What happened?
Like just those random sayings that you see on like bumper stickers.
What happened to y'all's generation? Y'all are the reason America is free falling right now.
I mean, I agree with that.
Y'all
I don't want to be part of the problem.
Y'all are getting rid of the charm of the suburban community lifestyle.
No, I love the charm of the suburban community lifestyle. I hate millennial gray. That everything is like gray and like the millennials are just destroying character and charm. I like classic. Give me a Americana, Ralph Lauren polo vibe. I want, dark wood, chest of drawers. I want that kind of vibe.
Okay. I did not think we were getting into interior design here on the show and be completely transparent with you. But I'll take the homey looking, well-loved stuff.
I love well-loved things.
Okay, I got it, EG. I'm not trying to personally attack your character. I'm just calling you a prude here on the air.
It's okay. I'm pointing a pin at you. I'm getting a little...
You are getting feisty. Can we move on?
If we must.
I'm gonna buy you a cup that says cup on it. I'm gonna make that happen.
Please don't.
Yes.
It makes me like break out in hives. Ugh.
Great. Even better. We'll do it on camera.
That'll be wonderful.
Anyway, we have poker tonight. Very excited about that. Hoping not to run into quads twice again this week because I played exceptional last week. I'm not gonna lie. I was chip leader, dominant chip leader early. Dominant. I mean, like the reason I was able to pay off everybody and not get eliminated is because I was just cooking.
In king garb too.
I was wearing a king costume. Jim Dunaway took video, by the way. I didn't realize that.
Oh, I think I have a picture too. Wait,
okay, I don't want that.
Let me check about that.
Anyway.
If you do, send it to me real quick and I'll put it on the show.
Don't you have some story about a thumbnail?
Oh, I do, but this is better. Continue.
Okay. I'll just continue on then. I want to talk about a couple trailers that dropped today. One is highest to lowest, which also could also describe how Fantastic Four went from weekend to weekend. But we won't talk about that yet.
Boom!
No, we won't talk about that yet. Okay. Was Tim Melton
Roasted.
right again about the Fantastic Four? Yes, he was.
Oh, wow.
We'll talk about it here in a second. Save your pitchforks and your torches, people. Okay. Was I right or was I right? The movie's boring, and we're seeing that projected in the numbers. Now, also said it would be number one. We'll talk about it in a second. The movie plays it too safe. But anyway, we won't talk about that right now. Highest to lowest. This is the new Denzel Washington movie directed by Spike Lee. This is a Spike Lee joint, which I always feel really cool saying. One of my favorite movies is a movie called Inside Man, which was Spike Lee and Denzel Washington teamed up. I think it was his commercially most successful movie of all time. And really, really love that movie. I'm getting that same vibe here. I feel like the gang is back. And I am pumped for this movie. This looks like Denzel doing Denzel things. Okay? Monologuing, grimacing, looking like the king of the castle. Because Denzel, when he's in that role...
He announced it at one point in the movie.
I think he says something like the king is here or something.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah,
hey, that's
that
me.
was good. That was good.
It's got a vibe in it where I'm all about it. You add Jeffrey Wright in as a supporting role in this? Are you kidding me?
And it looks like A$AP Rocky is going to be playing the villain,
Yeah.
which a lot of people might kind of write that off immediately. It's like, we just need to put somebody who's famous in the movie. He's actually a pretty decent actor for what you would expect. If you've ever seen the movie Dope, he plays a small bit part in that, and he's really good. Gives a nice little monologue on the history of hip hop, and it was really solid if you haven't seen it. But I'm expecting good things out of this. Great things.
Well, I need to see this movie ASAP because it's exciting. It's good. It looks great. I'm all about it. It's a gangster sort of like it's kind of a mixture of getting Inside Man vibes. I'm getting American Gangster vibes for sure. Those are two Denzel movies, but I'm also getting Ransom vibes with Mel Gibson. It's kind of got that vibe to it. So, look, I am all about this thing and really excited about Highest to Lowest and hoping we get Denzel just on fire because I'm still kind of recovering from him in Gladiator 2 because that was tonally weird to me. It just felt like Denzel kept popping up in this movie where I didn't expect Denzel to, and his rise to power in that movie, it just didn't work for me that much.
Tonally, it was off, but it was still more enjoyable than Joseph Quinn or the guy that played Joseph Quinn's brother.
Yeah, and we're not bashing Fantastic Four yet, so let's lay off the Joseph Quinn stuff here. But
I didn't even realize.
Yeah. Let's just say week 2 went up in flames for Fantastic Four. We'll talk about it here in a second. Everybody calm down. Hunter, calm down, okay? Calm down, my friend. Shelby Oaks. This is a Neon distributed horror movie that is written and directed by Chris Stuckman of YouTube fame. He's the guy that at the end of every one of his reviews says, click right here if you want to get Stuckmanized. And I think he's a really good film reviewer. I've watched him over the course of the years. Now, he's taken a little bit of a step back because he's decided he's not going to talk about films he doesn't like anymore. He's only going to basically promote films he really enjoys. And he's just, if he doesn't review something, that means he probably didn't like it. I don't love that. I'd rather you talk about everything and give us sort of your honest opinions, but he's looking to get away from film criticism and more into the industry. And he feels like that's the way he needs to go about his day-to-day YouTube channel. So that way he can have a leg up in the director's chair. And Shelby Oaks has been a movie in production for a long, long time. It's been crowdfunded. It's been a lot of love has been put into it. A lot of attention has been given to it. But when it debuted at a couple of festivals, it didn't necessarily get great reactions. And I feel like they probably went back and tinkered with some things. I think the production quality in this trailer is pretty good at times. I just think the story looks ultra generic. That's my biggest issue so far with Shelby Oaks. There's nothing about this I can get excited about because it doesn't look to be a hook that we haven't seen in a million other movies. And once again, I'm sure they're saving stuff for the actual film, and I hear there's a big twist, and I hear there's something that sort of turns the movie upside down, but it just looks incredibly generic, like incredibly creepy person in the woods, flashlight going out,
Found footage.
like driving in a hurry, and it just feels like if you've watched 10 horror movies in your life, this feels like a flavor of that.
Oh, don't forget the welcome to insert town name here sign that's been spray painted over.
Yeah, I mean, it just looks to be full of tropes.
Yes.
And I'm hoping by the end of this, I'm not calling it Shelby Tropes. I'm hoping I'm calling it Shelby Oaks. I'm hoping that it has some sort of punch to it. I'm hoping they dialed it up a little bit after some of the early reactions were very mild. So, I'm rooting for this movie because I want Chris Stuckman to have influence in a genre that he loves so, so much. And I hope it's good. But I'm nervous about it. And I'm going in very nervous about it. So the trailer didn't do anything to fix my concerns about the story.
Yeah, it just looks like your standard internet horror.
Yeah, it looks polished, and it's got some great beats to it of, audio visual syncing up to a point where it creates a trailer that feels like a real trailer. But I don't want the whole movie to be like, look, I'm a real director the entire time. I don't want it to be like, look at what I did with this shot. Look at what I did with, I don't want to feel that while I'm watching the movie. I want to be taken away by the movie. And I can't overlook the production behind the movie right now because I've been force-fed sort of the narrative of the making of it long before I ever get a chance to see the movie. It feels like the movie is like 4 years old because it's been talked about for so long, and I just hoping it stands on its own, regardless of the pedigree behind it. So, Shelby Oaks, that trailer dropping today. EG, do you have a thumbnail story?
Yes. Okay, so...
Because the Shelby Oaks thumbnail is what sort of launched me into a frustration, because I think the thumbnail for that trailer is awful, and you're like, well, I have a thumbnail story, so here we are.
So I went to Bristol this past weekend to watch the Braves game, and we could spend a long time talking about that because it is being dubbed the MLB's Fire Fest, and there is some validity to that, but I still had fun. However, I put this picture on X, and it's just literally me like looking at my phone, and it's like pouring rain around me. And I woke up this morning, and some YouTuber who I don't know them, made their thumbnail for their video about Bristol that now has 60,000 views, my photo. And there was no consulting me to ask if they could use my photo for their thumbnail.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I reached out to some people, and they can't do that.
So, have you had any resolution so far?
Not yet. I'm waiting to hear back from my contacts. But I did confirm it. They can't do that. Like, he literally used my face for a video and then had no connection point to see if that was okay.
Yeah.
And in the video, because I watched it, he uses other people's tweets and gives them credit in the video, but me.
I mean, I think it sucks.
Yeah, it does. It does. And I will show you guys I took a screenshot of it. I guess
Would you have been okay with it as long as credit was given?
Probably not. I don't think so. I would I don't know. I wasn't in that situation, but I would have been okay if they had maybe just asked.
Blunder at Bristol.
And it's me.
Let me see. Oh, yeah.
Like, can they see that?
I don't, probably not, but it is a corner of the thumbnail there. But they're obviously trying to tell a story and that it looks like things went awry, but
Can't really do that.
I don't know. I mean, I understand that, but weirdly, like, have you watched the content?
Yeah, I watched the content.
Is it good?
I mean, no, it's just regurgitating. Like, and now it's up to 83,000 views, 84,000 views, and 670 comments.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's defaming you in any way, right? I don't think it's
No, but it's
not
just
hurting you.
It's more of like, ask.
I get that. I totally get that.
I don't know. But there's nothing. He then pulled tweets from other people that were talking about it and like gave them credit. Like, oh, and Johnny from Mississippi posts. And then, so he showed the other photos in the thumbnail, but mine.
So you wanted more exposure?
I guess so. I guess so.
That's really what it sounds like.
It's almost like if you're going to use my photo, at least like, one, ask.
Your court case just dropped out the window, by the way, by you saying that.
Yeah.
It's like, why didn't you use me more? Why didn't you make me the star of your show?
I'm saying, if you're going to use it, I just didn't really like that.
There's 3 things I would recommend to you when it comes to this case.
Cease and desist immediately.
I would live, I would laugh, and I would love. That's what I would do.
Well, unfortunately, Tim, we're not doing any of those things.
That is correct.
Well, bless that mess.
Yeah, amen.
There's three places where three people that I live, laugh, and love with, and that is the place that I'm referring to. I think you guys know already. It's Alabama Dental Associates. I'm always living, I'm always laughing, I'm always loving there at Alabama Dental. It's Dr. Jeff, Dr. Brian, and Dr. Nolan. They're located on Grants Mill Road. If you haven't been to Grants Mill Road lately, what are you doing with your life? Get over there and go see the dentist, okay? Halloween is right around the corner, or as I like to call it, dentist season, because, I mean, we all know that the sweet treats that we snack on from Halloween all the way through Valentine's Day, that's dentist season.
Yeah.
Dentist season's about to be wide open.
It is.
Go have your mouth wide open at Alabama Dental Associates. Whether you have major work that needs to be done or you just need to get on top of those regular cleanings, they're there for you at Alabama Dental. If you're new in town, need to make sure you have a dentist on standby. This is the team that I recommend. Thank you for being here in Central Alabama, and thank you for visiting our friends at Alabama Dental Associates. You can call to set up an appointment now, 205-956-8977, or visit alabamadental.com, where they look forward to seeing you. All right, let's talk about the box office.
Real quick, Tim.
Yeah.
I have received exclusive info here, exclusive content.
Oh.
It is Tim Melton dressed as a king.
Yes. Roll it.
It's up on the screen now. He's got the crown and a cape over his Michael Myers shirt. Yep. What do you always say?
The king is back.
Yeah. Can we get it?
The king is back. The king will be back tonight because I have been mocked, and I have been the one defamed. Because number one, I didn't know this picture was being taken, nor did I know it would end up on YouTube. So what a hypocrite you are, you pretentious. I mean, think about it. If that ain't the pot calling the kettle black, why don't you go be in an American Eagles jean commercial, loser? Okay? That's a jerk thing to do. You know, just because you... No. You're the one that gets hurt, and you start hurting other people. I hope you know that in this industry, your reputation is you punch down. I hope you're prepared for that.
I am. I would have to punch up, though, to get you.
I mean, you
Need
go
a
on a
stepladder.
tangent. You go on a tangent that you don't want your image used without your permission.
I know.
On
Tim.
YouTube.
It's awful.
And then what do?
Send Tyler a photo. I think it's a lovely photo. I think it is garbed in memory and excellence.
That is an authentic king garb from Bangladesh.
Bangladesh, yes.
And
Renowned for their quality.
yeah. Now, I don't know if in that moment I had suffered one of my worst losses, but I want to just make sure that I reiterate that I ran into quads twice with a dominant full house both times.
And it was painful to watch because you're talking through that possibility, right?
Yeah, and I made the right fold on one of them.
You made the right fold, but it was uncomfortable.
I win last week if I don't run into quads twice. I feel full confident in that.
Yeah,
fully
because you
confident
really
in that.
were ahead chip-wise.
I was on fire. But anyway, I'm glad we got to that. Anything else that you guys want to sabotage the show with before we move on to talking about Fantastic Four?
No.
I don't know what you're talking about. Sabotage. I mean, it's content for the show.
I understand.
You guys talk poker all the time.
I understand, but that was supposed to be a private moment. I think we all know that was supposed to be a private moment, and now it's out there in the ether.
It is
And
out
can
there in
be
the ether.
used.
Apparently, EG was unaware that was a private moment.
Yeah.
I think I said, no, someone else. It was when Dunaway was taking the video that I snuck the selfie.
Let me tell you, I ain't ever wearing it again. I'll tell you that. It was
That's
too
okay.
painful. It's too painful.
Yeah, happens.
Okay. Back to the box office. We got a problem. And that is that the top of the box office cratered this past weekend. I fully expected Fantastic Four to be the number one movie in the country. However, I think if you've seen me in the pain that I've been in reviewing this movie, it's because I felt very passionately. You can go back and watch me try to work my way through it, but I felt very passionately this was just a boring superhero movie. I mean, it was just a standard, it's fine. They do the bare minimum needed for a superhero. They check every box, for superhero cinema. They go through the tropes. They go through the motions. They do the thing. They try to bring in this group of characters that no one's ever cared about cinematically. People love them in the comics. They've never translated to film. They've never translated to screen. People don't care. Miles Teller, tremendous actor. Nobody cared. He was Mr. Fantastic.
Michael B. Jordan, tremendous actor.
Nobody cared. Who played the Thing in that version? Do you know?
I have
no
idea.
one knows. No one knows. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Fantastic Four has never been anything people have actually cared about. And what we have seen yet again with a free fall from week 1 to week 2. Tyler, you were seeing the early reports down from one Friday to another 80%?
Yeah, that was the report I saw from Friday to Friday, and I had misread that and had to ask Tim before the show.
You didn't misread it. You just I guess
I generalized it to the whole weekend rather than the Friday to Friday.
Oh wow, okay.
But yeah, that's a massive drop. I'm not shocked either, because outside of the hardcore Marvel fan base, who's actually interested in this movie? And even within the hardcore Marvel fan base, how many of those people say, well, you know what, it's just going to be on Disney Plus in a few weeks anyway?
I think there's a lot of individuals that are going to try to play revisionist history coming out of this movie that were very high on it, that now we're going to be like, well, people are just, I guess they just don't like superhero cinema anymore. I walked out of this movie immediately saying, Superman's going to make more than this movie.
Yep.
Okay, immediately. Obviously, you saw my review on camera of saying that this thing is about as, I guess the term that your generation would use is mid. This generation's mid. Not this generation. This movie's mid.
You better watch out there.
People are walking out, this is a top 5 Marvel movie. Marvel's so back. Marvel's on fire. This is peak Marvel. Well, I'm like, what did y'all see? This thing is generic as hell with a bunch of characters yapping at each other about being potentially flawed while being absolutely perfect on screen.
It was cute. Just cute.
Yes. But anyway, I never understood the hype around this movie that was so front-loaded, obviously, that, I guess all you Marvel sort of defenders to the end of time didn't go see it in its second weekend, didn't go back for those repeat viewings because it needed you this weekend. And where were you? Because the movie fell 66% weekend over weekend.
I think I'm still a bit higher on this movie than you are.
You think?
But this is still not a good look, and really just expect more. I wouldn't call this a top 5 Marvel movie. I don't even know if I'd call it a top 10 Marvel movie. I think it is an above average Marvel movie, and that's about it. This is the first good Fantastic Four movie I've seen, and that's about it. I don't think it's anything special. I think, and I even said this walking out of the theater talking to Saber, they completely fumbled the Doctor Doom reveal at the end. You only have one shot, one opportunity to bring in Doctor Doom to the MCU, and you botched it. Looked terrible.
To me, the more damning post-credit sequence this year is not the Doom thing that happens, which is pretty much known by everybody at this point. The movie's been out. But it is at the end of Thunderbolts when they did a whole post-credit sequence where they shot it, I think, 2 weeks before the movie came out, Thunderbolts.
Correct.
And it shows the Fantastic Four flying in to our world, basically, present MCU. And that's never capitalized on. That's like actually, in terms of the timeline, the last thing the Fantastic Four are a part of here leading into Doomsday, and there's no payoff on that either. So this movie is incredibly generic, incredibly safe, and we'll see if it pays off, the safe route pays off long term with making people care about these characters. But this thing fell hard in week number 2. I think it's a perfectly okay movie. I think it's an okay movie, other than the fact that it takes almost zero risk and it's just straight up generic and boring. But anyway,
I guess the bigger issue I've had more recently coming off this movie, thinking about it more, is what did it lead to?
Well, it's leading to, it's promising.
Well, yeah, but
it's going to lead to something.
The movie we saw, what was the point of that?
To introduce characters that nobody cares about.
I mean, but like in that world, like what is actually different?
You could say that about a lot of superhero cinema. I'm not going to say just Marvel. I'm going to say you could say that about a lot of superhero movies. I think the biggest issue with superhero movies currently is that when it came to, let's say, the Nolan Batman trilogy, which I'm not going to lie and say that I'm not biased, that I'm a huge Batman fan and I love that trilogy. I just bought the steelbooks of it. But like, it raised the stakes. That's just it's a trilogy that the stakes get raised, and it feels like a natural progression of raising of the stakes. The MCU, from Iron Man up, it just kept raising the stakes in a very progressive way that felt really, really good. Like, it felt like you were invested because every one of these things, it not only made that moment important, it made all the moments before it important. That was the secret sauce to the MCU. Every new entry enriched the rest of the movies. And then the DCEU was like, well, how do we rush our stakes? And that was the first big superhero misstep of the 2000s. Like, big misstep. Of like, let's rush the stakes. Let's make everything world ending. Let's make everything cities being destructed. Let's make everything like Justice League, even Zack Snyder's Justice League. Like, this is the threat at the end of the world and only the Justice League can save us. And every time you raise the stakes, you lose a little bit more of the interpersonal. Endgame reset the stakes for Marvel. It was like a closing of the loop, and now we're going to start a new set of stakes. And I've never been able to rebuild those because not only cinematically are they coming out with movies that people aren't really connecting with because they've already been on that emotional high. So the veins, once you get on that emotional high, it's hard to get that restarted. It just doesn't work for you. It's like if you're a poker player and you're playing 5-10 cash games, it's really hard to go back down to 1-2, You're playing 10-20. It's really hard to go back down in stakes. That's what we've seen with Marvel. And they spread their secret sauce too thin with going to Disney Plus and putting out all these shows and then sort of shaming the people who hadn't seen stuff in Disney Plus that gets paid off in different ways. And it became too tough to keep up with for general audiences. And a lot of the stuff wasn't very good. So, long story short, too late. Fantastic Four comes out and it's like, please accept this so we can move on and make them a pillar of what's to come. And right now, audiences are choosing, for the most part, to sit out of this experience going, oh, I'll catch it later. You're telling me the payoff's later? I'll catch it later. Almost feels like a Horizon situation with Kevin Costner. It almost feels like that sort of the Western genre. Nobody really cares about it anymore. We're going to make that. Superhero genre, it's lost a lot of its luster. And you're going to have the payoff later. Just go see this. So you can do the homework so that way you can prepare for the test. People just really want to get to the test. And they'll show up for Doomsday and they'll probably be reliving everything in game and before again. And that's going to be the hope for Marvel, that they're going to have to put out a greatest hits album known as Doomsday. And we'll see if they're able to achieve that. But the Fantastic Four, a monumental step backwards from week 1 to week 2. And we will continue to see how it holds throughout the remainder of its theatrical run. The Bad Guys 2 ending up in the second spot. I didn't see Bad Guys 1. I don't plan on seeing Bad Guys 2. However, it being family fare, it at the $22.2 million mark this weekend. A pretty nice haul there for a movie that didn't take a ton of money to produce. That isn't like a huge IP that was a very safe number 2 hit here. And I'm not shocked by it at all. The Naked Gun there at the number 3 spot with $17 million. This is another movie that cost, I think, $40 million to produce. So with marketing and everything, it needs about, I don't know, $100 million to break even. And we'll see if it gets there. I don't think it's going to get there, but it's going to be a movie that I think plays really well streaming and everything. The Naked Gun, I think, is going to play really well streaming. Superman dropping from the 2nd to the 4th spot, but only dropping 44%. It ended up making another $13.9 million. And once again, with Fantastic Four being the number 1 movie, these are 2 movies that are 100% competing against each other and competing for audience eyeballs. And Superman right now is trending a lot stronger than Fantastic Four First Steps. Both of them have had problems. Superman isn't a character on screen that has been able to garner significant amount of interest because they fumbled the bag so badly with the Henry Cavill Superman. I think his movies that he was in absolutely suck. However, I like Henry Cavill Superman. It's weird.
He just looks like Superman when he goes to 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
So, let's put him in a Superman suit. But the Metropolis and Gotham City built out around the Henry Cavill Superman, complete garbage. The Lois Lane that he gets in Amy Adams, complete garbage.
Yeah.
The Pa Kent he has in Kevin Costner, garbage.
Yeah, there's a lot of things they didn't get right in the foundation around him. And if you were to have put David Cornsweet in that Superman universe, it would have sucked.
Yeah.
And you put Henry Cavill in this new Superman universe, and we would be going like, yeah, this makes a lot of sense. This is really good. So it's a shame that Henry Cavill got wasted as Superman, because I've always felt that. It's a shame Ben Affleck got wasted as Batman.
Yeah, I would still like to see a Batman Beyond movie with Ben Affleck as the old Bruce Wayne. I think he plays old and jaded very well. I
feel like the closest you're going to get to that ever happening is The Flash. I feel like he kind of is playing that role of Batman in that movie. And I don't think I want more of that comic-y sort of old Bruce Wayne making jokes and being goofy. And I know that's not what you're asking for. I'm just saying, like, I worry they have just fumbled tonally what Ben Affleck's Batman is now, to the point where he's even like, I'm never doing this again. So we'll see.
No, I want Return of the Joker, old Bruce Wayne, where he is just, he's old, he's jaded, he hates the world, he doesn't see a point in anyone being a hero anymore. That Bruce Wayne.
I think it's important to note, domestic Superman has made $316 million. Domestic Jurassic World Rebirth has made $317 million. Jurassic World Rebirth out a week before and also during the 4th of July holiday, and they both have the same amount of money domestic. That's a big win for Superman. However, Jurassic World Rebirth absolutely sucks. And Jurassic World Rebirth, like the reason I was so confident leading up to the month of July that it would be the top dog is because its international numbers are going to be so strong. Nearly $500 million internationally, as it is at $766 million worldwide. If the movie was good, I think we'd already be talking about it in the $1 billion club. And I mean that seriously. The movie's not good. It's very stupid, actually. But Jurassic World Rebirth holding there in the number 5 spot. E.G.
Yes.
You saw Fantastic Four First Steps.
I did.
We've talked about that. You skipped out on Jurassic World Rebirth on purpose after saying initially you were interested and then you started to sort of fall off from it. Why did you not go see Jurassic World Rebirth when you got into summer movie mode in the month of July?
It didn't appeal to me as much, and that IP has never intrigued me. I liked that first preview, but it felt like, same old, same old. Like, I don't really want to waste time on this. Whereas Superman, I was looking forward to for a long time. And Fantastic Four, the opportunity presented itself, and I was like, yeah, I'll go check it out. But Jurassic World, nah.
Best movie you saw in the month of July, though, you would say?
Yes.
F1.
Yeah.
Which is like EG to a T. Yeah. I mean, it's just the most EG movie ever made. And I said that when I saw it. There is a poker sequence in the movie F1 that I don't think is handled correctly. You know, one player goes all in, the other one just shoves all their chips in, but they have more, I think. And I don't know. It's like, it was annoying, but
there's some logistical elements.
There's some logistical elements, but I'm being a poker prude.
Yeah.
But in the movie, just from a story perspective, it's just supposed to go down and feel good.
Yes.
And it does.
It works.
It does. It works because it's not trying to tell you, I'm here to lecture you. It just gives you exactly what you expect in this movie. It ends up in the 7th spot, but it has done incredibly well worldwide. Over $500 million. Wow. $545 million worldwide. Also relying on those international numbers, and about 70% of its haul being international. So no surprise there with F1 being so much more popular overseas. The number 6 spot, you may be saying, Tim, you skipped it. What was it? It's Together. It's the Dave Franco, Alison Brie movie that I also think is a movie that the hook is really good. The premise is really good. The trailers are really intense and good. But I think the payoff of how things conclude in that movie, whether it be the ending or just sequence by sequence, I find to be incredibly unsatisfying. Like, I just hated where they took that interesting hook and interesting premise. There's also that, you know, that sort of those allegations that the movie was ripped off, and that sort of affected my viewing of it. I'm not going to lie. I think the movie's incredibly whiny as well. I mean, it's just them two just whining back and forth at one another. And like Dave Franco has a very annoying, whiny, like, what am I supposed to do? You know, like constantly throughout it.
He is annoying in this movie.
And they get trapped in situations where you're like, okay, well, this is about to be monumentally important. And then they just like solve it real quick. And
yeah, it's just used for like a gag.
I don't know. I wanted the movie to carry a little bit more weight. I wanted it to have a little bit more of a punch. And I never felt like it did. And it was mildly disappointing to me Together. And I hate to be that guy who's coming on here with all these new movies and being like, this one disappointed me, this one's boring, this one's plays it too safe. But like Together had everybody hooked that went to go buy a ticket to see it, and they should have delivered a little bit more than what they did. In my opinion, it ends up in the 6th spot. Still a pretty good showing here for it to end up in the 6th spot. Neon distributing this. I think they bought the rights for like $17 million. There was a bidding war over this. Very low budget horror movie. Some of the visuals in this movie I find to be not great.
Really?
Yeah, some of them.
Okay.
Some of the melding of things, I'm like, that looks a little, you know, that doesn't look great. Some of the stuff is really, really good.
Yeah, there were some shots where I'm like, oh, that. But if the world around it was better, if maybe it wasn't Dave Franco and Alison Brie, but there's some stuff where like this movie's got really good bones and a really interesting just take on body horror.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's got those shots that could be iconic, but something about this movie is just preventing it from, you know, reaching that ceiling.
These characters get trapped in multiple situations and there's panic, but then they just like quickly get out of it. And it's like, I don't know. The thing that I'm most frustrated about probably is these two characters, they get trapped in a situation where they are desolate. And then the next morning they're just like, all right, let's leave this situation. And I'm like, why didn't you just do that already? Like, I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. Oh, there's just this, now there's this ladder over here, or there's just this thing we can get out of this. And I'm like, did you not think about, I don't know, maybe trying that 24 hours earlier? It just didn't make any sense to me. They don't get help. They don't like shoot an emergency flare. They just literally just, okay, time to go. It's like, wait, you were trapped. I'm so confused. Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, they're just like, oh no, there's no way out. Let's take a nap.
Yeah.
And then they wake up. It's like, all right, well, time to hit the old dusty trail.
Exactly. But you're trapped. I thought
like,
you were,
what, how did
you just go like, escape? Oh, you know, it's like, it almost felt like a Naked Gun bit. It's like, oh, there's an emergency exit right over there or something, you know, and they just walk out. I was just like, really? That's what we're doing in this movie. Anytime they are trapped in this movie, they just, all right, well, let's just solve this real quick. I was like, I'm looking around. Is anybody else like feel dumb watching this? That's why the critics score is through the roof, because critics are dumb. And
You tell them.
the audience score is like very middle of the road, very C, around a C. It could have been the movie of the summer. I think Weapons is going to be that, because Weapons is not going to let us down. That's my hope. F1 there at the number 7 spot. I Know What You Did Last Summer at the number 8 spot. Surprised. I'm actually surprised it's still in the top 10, because the word of mouth on this one has been so bad. But
Well, I flipped to FX briefly on YouTube TV to watch some of the new season of It's Always Sunny.
yeah,
So many ads for I Know What You Did Last Summer. So I guess that's what's helping it, because word of mouth certainly isn't from people who have seen it.
the fact that I Know What You Did Last Summer, last week was in the number 6 spot, this week dropping to 9, it actually outperformed that Smurfs movie, which you could not pay me enough money to go see that movie. I do not want to see the Rihanna Smurfs movie.
No.
I don't quit trying to make things in blue work. Okay, Smurfs,
Fantastic Four,
Fantastic Four,
Avatar.
Avatar's actually
That's one of the most successful movies of all
Yeah,
time.
I know. It doesn't work for me, though.
it's actually the highest grossing movie of all time.
Yeah, I still
And
don't like it.
The franchise is probably, I would say, the highest grossing franchise of all time.
Probably.
Eh.
Unless you were to go
like the entirety of the MCU.
right, but I mean like
But more successful than like all the Iron Man.
correct.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, like Avatar movies, they just print money, and I don't know why.
Who's going?
I don't know anybody in my life that likes the Avatar movies, and these things print money. And
Case in
I know
point.
their international numbers are just massive, but American audiences get rope-a-doped into going and see the next one over and
Yeah.
over and over again.
I
And
I
the
don't
new
know.
one, I've heard people like, "Oh man, this thing looks so good." This third one, and I'm like, "What are you seeing that I'm not seeing that makes this intriguing?"
Yes, I've been that way since 2009, and it just I don't know. Maybe it's because all the people I went to school with that were like massive Avatar fans were also like mouth breathers a little bit.
Oh, gross.
I mean, it's no disrespect to Avatar fans. I'm saying I have a bad experience with some massive Avatar fans.
I got it.
Happens.
I got it. I just
It's the same way. It's the same thing with Tron for me.
have you ever met anyone in life, and I'm being dead serious, have you ever met anyone in life and they say my favorite movie of all time is Avatar?
No.
I have,
You have?
like I said,
Tyler.
mouth breather,
Tyler.
The company
mouth
that you
breather.
keep-
How to Train Your Dragon at the number 10 spot. The thing that upsets me is Eddington is at the number 11 spot now. I have not gotten a chance to see it. It dropped 1,500 theaters. I don't think I'm going to be able to see it theatrically. I think I missed my window.
I've only seen like one showing a day around here that is like at 11 o'clock a.m. So
There's only one movie in the top 15 that dropped a bigger percentage than Fantastic Four First Steps, and that is Eddington. Eddington dropping a whopping 70% weekend to weekend and losing all of its screens. So A24 has had a really rough year.
mm-hmm.
They are like this year's Lionsgate.
Oh
I mean, I'm being legitimate. I mean, Materialist did okay. You pimp. You're just a pimp.
Legend of Ochi underperformed. That wasn't.
Correct.
Yeah, they really wanted that to be like almost a jumping off point for a new like just children friendly, family friendly wing of A24. Didn't work though.
So yeah, there's your box office report. It's kind of a down weekend. They are airing remastered versions of Batman and Batman Returns in Dolby Cinemas in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, and we don't have any of those near here.
We don't have any of them near here. Also, it's a poker night, so I would have to miss poker night, and I'm planning on winning this season, so I don't want to miss
Can't do
poker
that.
night. To travel to some other market to watch these two movies, I would love to see them in this version, but I don't think I can pull it off. Also, I'm gearing myself up for the Jaws re-release. That's my second most anticipated thing I'm seeing this whole entire month. So it'd probably be Weapons number 1,
Jaws.
the Jaws re-release number 2, because I'm introducing it to my daughter for the first time, which is going to be very exciting. She's gone back and forth on whether or not she'll watch it. Right now, she's currently in. As long as I provide a blue slushie, 2 candies, and a popcorn.
very reasonable.
And she's like, the candy can't be the one that comes with the kids pack. And so like one of those is that, and then the second one is a individual candy. Like she's got terms and conditions. Like, no, don't encourage it.
Yeah, no, that's.
No, I respect it. I respect it.
I mean, she's negotiating a full-on deal. Like, I'm going to end
should.
up having some sort of merchandising deal by the time it's all done.
I also like the blue slushy selection.
Yeah,
Blue is the best flavor.
Well, she's like, look, Dad, certain times in the movie theaters, they have slushies that go along with the actual film. Like, Lilo and Stitch had a Lilo and Stitch slushie, which she wanted. She's like, I want the Jaws slushie. And I'm like, well, that's probably going to be blue and red. But I'm not going to tell you why, little one. Anyway, I'm very excited to bring her to Jaws. That's like top tier dad moment. Like if I can just survive long enough for that and the Batman Part 2, my life will be complete. I'll be happy. Okay. I just want to bring her to Jaws.
That is so tender.
I just worry that she's going to cop out in the last like weekend and she's like, I'm not going to see it.
Don't
Sounds
talk
too
about
scary.
it. Don't let her know your excitement.
Correct. I probably shouldn't have said it on the air. So I'm excited for that. And then third would be the highest to lowest movie. I think that looks really good. And that would be third on my list of things I'm really excited about.
And I have found showtimes for it.
See?
At the
That's
Studio
good.
Movie Grill in, I believe it's Marietta.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Marietta.
That's where my parents live.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well,
I don't know where you're
Road
talking
trip?
about, though. Yeah. Heck yeah. I think it's in East Cobb. What is it called?
Studio Movie Grill in Marietta.
okay. Well, we're all going to take a road trip and then stay in bunk beds. And I think that we should.
There's a German restaurant that I wanted to try out a couple months ago in Atlanta, and so now I'm gonna be able to try it out.
I think you're just looking for a reason to go back to Atlanta. Like,
So too.
I think there will be showings here. I feel very confident there will be showings.
I'm not confident.
I'm very confident.
I'm not.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
But yes, I am looking for an excuse to go to that German restaurant and eat
What's
my
it
weight.
called?
It's called Der Biergarten, and it's by State Farm Arena.
Okay.
And I'm gonna fill up on bratwurst and knockwurst and sauerkraut and bread.
There's a State Farm joke in the highest to lowest trailer, which ends up making it work even perfect. So, all right, that's going to do it for us today. We love movies, and we hope that if you love movies, you'll hit that subscribe button and join us here on this journey that we call Meltdown Live. That is EG. That is Tyler. I'm Tim. We make up this trio, and we've been very excited to be here for you and talking all things pop culture. It's been a lot of fun. Chat, very active today. Tyler, if there's anything in the chat you need to get to, now would be the time, because I've got to remind all of our fine folks about MyBookie at mybookie.ag. You can bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. That's mybookie.ag. Use that promo code NEXTROUND for that first-time deposit bonus at mybookie.ag. Going into the college football season, go ahead and get signed up. Take advantage of that promo code. Have yourself a good time. Have a little action there on the games. And have a lot of fun there at mybookie.ag. Tyler, close us out.
Smuff says people say that they're hardcore into Marvel or DC or whatever, but they really aren't. They just want to say they are. For some, I think they just want good superhero movies. It doesn't really matter, Marvel or DC. But then other people really do have a preference. Like, I guess my love for the DC roster goes a lot deeper than my love for the Marvel roster. I don't know about you.
Well, I definitely love DC more than Marvel. However, I like to think that I can call balls and strikes and be fair. And Marvel's been on a heater for so long, and DC's been on a downward trend for so long, that it took some of these elseworld stories like the Batman and Joker and the Penguin HBO series. And I know that's all Batman centric, but they knew they had to get something else right other than these Batman spinoffs. They knew they had to get something like Superman right out of the gate. And for the most part, they succeeded in their mission. This movie is not going to be $1 billion movie. It's not going to be a $900 million movie. It's not going to be an $800 million movie. It may not be a $700 million movie, but it's going to be enough of a hit to then have these spinoffs that people can care about. I just worry they're going to be pushing families away with Supergirl and the take that they're going with that, with Peacemaker, with Clayface. These are not family-friendly pieces of material. These play to the diehards like me and Tyler. There's not enough of us to justify the production budgets that these things are being made for. They've got to make things that are more commercially friendly, more things that invigorate the general audiences, and that's Marvel and DC. It doesn't matter how many fanboys, fangirls there are of this stuff. The reason the MCU worked to the level it did, the reason the Dark Knight trilogy worked to the level it did, was because it brought in general audiences. I know people who can't stand comic book movies that call The Dark Knight their favorite movie of all time.
I was going to say Ryan Brown until you ended with favorite movie of all time.
Oh, okay.
Brown loves The Dark Knight, but he has no interest in comic books.
Right. Make them matter culturally. Iron Man is just a straight up good movie. It's good character study, and it doesn't pull punches. And, you know, we need to get back to more of that. I think the Batman Part 2, you'll start to see, okay, is that movie going to possibly creep up to that close to $1 billion mark? The problem is it is very dark, and it's going to exclude some of those family audiences. But anyway, you don't have to dumb things down. The MCU didn't dumb things down. It just made sure everybody had a seat at the table and could enjoy those features. And it made everybody happy. And we've got to get back to making more people happy. Anyway, that was a whole long tangent, but I feel passionately about it.
Well, it ties into the next thing in the chat, which is Smuff saying there are no stakes when people don't care about your characters, which I agree with to some extent. That's DC's problem. Batman, greater than any other DC character. I agree with that. It's a blowout nobody cares about or finds the rest interesting. I disagree with that wholeheartedly. And I think just because you don't have as many heroes, like DC doesn't have a plethora of heroes at the same level as Batman. Batman is the greatest comic book character that's ever been written. But you have to make people care about these characters. Nobody cared about Guardians of the Galaxy before James Gunn made that movie. That they were like not even C-list. They were D-listers. That was just like a weird comic book that barely sold anything. And also a lot of people in that comic book are not in the same roles they are in the movie. But you can make them interesting, and now they're beloved, and they've got their own ride at Disney World.
So, real quick on the Guardians thing. You're exactly right about that, except for the fact that people weren't predispositioned against them. They were indifferent to them because they didn't know who they were. Now, it was looked at as the biggest gamble Marvel had ever taken. Like, y'all are going to basically end the hot streak you're on by going with this cosmic story that's going to be a ragtag group of, like, a tree and a raccoon, and, like, people aren't going to like this. And you're right. They made it absorbable to the general audience, and they absolutely adore those characters to the point where now it's like, when are we getting those guys back? You know, and it's like, you're not. But people were indifferent to them. Superman, on the other end, much tougher to get over the hump because everybody has their vision of what the perfect Superman is.
True, and I guess I'm referring more towards the future of DCU, where you are making these Clayface movies. You got the Creature Commandos show, Teen Titans in the pipeline, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
Swamp Thing.
Yeah,
which is supposed to be a gothic horror. You're already hitting a very select group of people with a gothic horror, and now you've got to get the comic book side of gothic horror in because it's Swamp Thing.
But to Smuff's point as well, even on this press tour for Superman, everyone, all they're asking about is, what are you going to do with Batman?
Yeah.
Like,
no, 100%.
He takes up all the energy in the room because
the DCU fails if they don't get Batman right.
That is correct. And we've seen Batman can be reintroduced 15 times, and each time was a hit. Adam West TV series doesn't work for everybody. Massive hit. Massive success.
And canonically, the strongest Batman.
Yeah. Batman Forever, right? Gets crapped on that they got rid of Keaton and they moved on to Schumacher, and the movie made tons of money. And, you know, you've gotten, every version of Batman has worked to some degree. And even George Clooney, who's been in now 2 Batman movies, by the way, I just want to point that out. He's been in more Batman roles than Val Kilmer, who's been in by far the least. Anyway, continue.
Let's see here. Too much negative talk this show. We need some positive, Tim. And also people in the chat are calling you Lex Luthor because of your hatred for the Fantastic Four. But you know.
I just think the Fantastic Four had a tremendous opportunity to sit people down and evoke passion. And instead they decided, by choice, we're going to play this thing as safe as we possibly can. And now you're seeing the results of that in week 2. And I've been on the record saying this movie played it as safe as it possibly could. Go back and watch our review where I'm sitting here not dogging it out. It just absolutely tried to be as simple of a story as it could be. And now you're seeing audiences going like, why would I waste my time on something so simplistic? And the money doesn't lie. At the end of the day, the money does not lie. So if you are going to ding me for being honest with you, then you're just going to have to ding me because I refuse to be anything less than honest.
I mean, that's fair. And Justin says, what about Thunderbolts? I think both of us are in agreement with Thunderbolts being better than Fantastic Four. But if you're referring to, like, nobody cares about these characters and we got to make people care about the characters, I don't think the movie really succeeded in that.
Thunderbolts underperformed.
Yes.
There's no denying it. It underperformed. Fantastic Four is underperforming. These are the two big linchpins to setting up the team-ups that are coming. Mm-hmm. And people they're just not passionate about either one of these groups.
I mean, yeah, it's fair. Because, I mean, even with Guardians, if you're comparing, like, Guardians of the Galaxy to Thunderbolts, obviously different points in time, different for superhero cinema, whereas Marvel was on, like, this crazy hot streak when Guardians came out, like you said, versus now where stuff like Quantum Mania, The Eternals, The Marvels, Brave New World, and every other just mediocre to bad Disney Plus Disney Plus Marvel series or mainline MCU movie has been just kind of mediocre. So I think that ties into it too. But
Marvel used to have a philosophy that your time would never be wasted. Like, if you bought a ticket to one of their shows, it meant something. It mattered. It was serialized in a way where it's like every entry matters and it's going to make everything before it better.
We've gotten a lot of filler episodes.
When you start producing stuff like She-Hulk and you start producing stuff like Secret Invasion or whatever.
Yeah, Secret Invasion.
All of a sudden you dilute the entire brand and poor business decisions. Now, do you blame Kevin Feige? I really don't yet, but he better start to realize like how much the brand has been damaged, because he keeps sort of touting the strength and keeps touting the wins and keeps touting the future. And he's got to sort of read the room here that they're on a losing streak now. Really. Like, there's very few wins that they can point out. Deadpool and Wolverine being one of the wins. I still feel like Deadpool and Wolverine is better than any Marvel movie we've gotten this year. By far. I think it's better than Superman. I think Deadpool and Wolverine is better than Superman. And I'm a bigger Superman fan than I am Deadpool or Wolverine. But that movie is better than Superman. It's a better film. It's a more entertaining, engaging experience. And what you saw backed up with is box office dollars. What was the last superhero movie to make $1 billion? I
mean, it was Deadpool and Wolverine.
Deadpool and Wolverine for a reason. It was an event. It paid off. Like, they read the room perfect and they went for it.
But then my counter to that would be the other $1 billion superhero movie before Deadpool and Wolverine. There might have been a couple in between, but No Way Home was probably the biggest Marvel hit before Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah, post-Endgame.
Yeah, post-Endgame. I feel like going back and rewatching either of those on streaming would just be kind of lackluster because they both felt like a moment in time.
I think Deadpool and Wolverine is a much better movie than No Way Home. I feel like No Way Home.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
No Way Home was a rock concert.
Yeah. Okay.
That like you had to be in attendance for because, oh my God, like this is going to be so much fun as a Spider-Man fan. However, I think the two previous Tom Holland Spider-Man movies are both better movies, both better films. I think two of the Tobey Maguire movies are better movies. Even
Agreed.
maybe the first, maybe even the first Andrew Garfield movie. I don't like those movies.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of those.
And it was actually the best we ever saw Andrew Garfield. Andrew Garfield was the member of the band who actually, from what the expectation was to what they delivered in that movie, they superseded all expectations. Like, Andrew Garfield rocks in No Way Home to the point where it justifies his run as Spider-Man, which I didn't think anything could after that abomination that was the second one of The Amazing Spider-Man 2. But anyway.
And you get a nice sort of redemption arc for his Spider-Man. Yeah.
When he comes through that portal, right? The thing is, they keep the pause in there for the audience to lose their mind, and it makes it very awkward on the rewatch when you're watching it at home alone in stereo. Like, yeah, you know, it's like, but it's like, and you're waiting for that moment to where the crowd goes crazy. But anyway. All right, we got to wind this thing down. Is that it?
Justin says, did y'all talk about SummerSlam? Tim mentioned it.
Oh, yeah.
Towards the beginning of the show. So, Jeff, you are wrong. We were not too busy being movie snobs.
I think there was a question about whether night one or night two worked better for me. The Rollins cash in or the Lesnar return worked better. I would have loved seeing CM Punk hold on to the title, but I also love the Rollins Punk rivalry. I'm not a Rollins guy. I don't like Rollins. I don't like Becky Lynch. Love Paul Heyman, and I really like what they're doing with Braun and with Bronson Reed. But dramatic effect, night one was left me on a higher high than night two, even though Cody won the championship. It's weird. They're both very similar, but I loved the Cody Cena match at SummerSlam. I hated the Cody Cena match, not just due to the outcome, but it was just a bad match at WrestleMania. Cody and Cena crushed it last night, and you almost didn't need the Brock thing. It was so perfect. The story they were telling was so perfect with Cena and with Cody last night. You didn't need the Brock thing. It was just sort of a cherry on top of the sundae. In order to tell the full story of that Gunther CM Punk match, you needed a cash in from Rollins. So night one, a little bit more fulfilling than night two, even though I'm really happy to see Cody back as champion. And let me tell you, he looked just like Guile from Street Fighter last night when he delivers a salute to Cena. He looked just like Guile from Street Fighter. So if that is where he's going off to shoot the movie and he's playing Guile, I'm very excited about that. Cody Rhodes actually in The Naked Gun. He plays a bartender in this movie, and I think he does a really fantastic job. So is he going to be that next wrestler to actor pipeline type star? Very possible, but he's
got the charisma. Last week after the show, or no, would have been before one of last week's shows. You turned on the Hot Ones interview with Cody Rhodes, and I enjoyed it. Not knowing much about the guy, he's just he's good on camera. He's very charismatic.
He did a 2-hour sit down with Bill Simmons, and I watched all 2 hours, and it felt like it flew by. And I watched it, and they talked about everything. And there's this awesome Halloween 4 poster behind Cody there in the studio. And I mean, it was a really great interview. So if you're looking for more content to absorb, Cody on Hot Ones, Cody with Bill Simmons, fantastic. Really love what he's doing as the face of the company, literal face of the company, and very excited to see what they do. And it looks like we're going to be getting Brock Cena. It looks like we're going to be getting Rollins Punk. It looks like Gunther's out there looking for something to do. Drew McIntyre's looking for something to do. Jelly Roll was in the ring this weekend and got absolutely obliterated. He got just destroyed. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. It was pretty impressive, the bumps he took. But, SummerSlam, I had a really great time. We had a really great time as a family watching it, and I'm very excited for sort of how it all played out. And I'm optimistic and hopeful that narratively they're going to be able to craft a lot of interesting storylines going into the next few months, the last few months of John Cena's career. So that's where we're at. All right, closing this one down. Appreciate all the audience interaction. We went a little bit over time today to try to get in all your commentary, and we appreciate you being such an active part of the show here in Meltdonia. We will see you again tomorrow, 2 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock Eastern. Make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already.